Okay, if you're not watching Grieving Soul, you got to after the second episode. You quite literally have the reverse Sid from Eminence and Shadow. A series where the MC knows they ain't playing along. They truly believe that he's him and he's just the strongest. And despite his resignation letters and how he says, I don't want to do this, they keep him as leader thinking he's the greatest. But the idea that you have a Sid-like character, just rather than playing into a Chuny role, truly is just in a situation that just refuses to give up on him. He's such a lazy mofo that he reads the first 3 lines of a report and says, okay, I have to take up something to get out of this penalty. I'll push the work onto this girl. And despite people saying you shouldn't do that, this is a very dangerous mission, he's like, nah, it's a level 3 mission. She's level 4, it's fine. It's revealed in this episode that he quite literally signed her death sentence. That people that are level 5 were getting killed going on this one because of the danger. And the fact that he has to Iron Man his way into saving her ass, and he forgets the bag of merchandise that was supposed to keep him safe. One of 2 things is going to happen in episode 3. He's going to crash into this wolf, and it's going to get killed because of that. Or he's going to crash, try to perform a superhero landing, and they're going to somehow have survived. But when the girl had to make a will before she goes on this mission, he is the best douchebag we're going to follow this season, isn't he? I have full live reactions over on Patreon if you want to see me just absolutely break to the series over there exclusively. I'm loving this show. I do think it will be a Sunday release, but if something happens, I'll just release it on Mondays, because this show is awesome. It's gonna be one of, if not the biggest surprises for me this season, because I literally had no expectations. And in a similar way to something like Level 2 Super Cheap Powers or something from a couple anime seasons back, these are the shows that you really think you know exactly what to expect, and then they just completely sideswipe you. And I love how the comedy in this series, it's there, but it's not constantly trying to tell a joke. It's not constantly having the MC being like, see, once again, everyone thinks I'm strong, but I'm really weak. They don't abuse the mechanic. Like, the idea that we get the flashback, we kickstart this episode off 6 years ago. They're like, okay, we need to make a logo, we need to make a name. He makes the skull and says, we're grieving souls. Quite literally trying to get himself fired. And they immediately all have the reaction of, okay, I mean, I guess even a talented person like you can have shit taste. And he's like, well, I guess I'm just not fit for this, I'll back off. And because they don't want to see their friend upset, they're like, actually, it's great, we love it. No matter what he did, he just could do no wrong. And if he did do wrong, if they saw him sad or try to leave, they would just pat him on the back like, yep, boss, no one's better than you. It's the fact that he quite literally is like the definition of average. His combat skill, everything about him, he's just a normal dude surrounded by the best S ranks known to man who refuse to give up on him. Like, there's this girl who worships the ground he walks on, could kill him. Her thighs could probably press 500 pounds of force with the way they be framing shit. And the fact that she thinks he's like the top dog in this world, you have people quite literally announcing to the general public that he's better than everyone. This show is ridiculous. And I love the idea that we have an MC. Like, you knew this was a dangerous mission, but even I didn't think it was quite this bad. And once they start realizing just how deadly it is, the 2 people he's talking to as he's like, yeah, I sent her on this mission. And they're like, damn, master, we knew you were a hard ass, but not this. He's like, yeah, what are you talking about? She's got the level. And hell, I even sent her with this makeshift party. And they're like, oh, so not only did you send her on a death trap, you handicapped her. Because by sending her with people she's never fought with, you're essentially making it an even more difficult situation. You didn't even give her a party she's familiar with. You gave her a makeshift one. I really hope I never get on your bad side, because you quite literally want them dead. If they come out of this alive, they're just going to be like, you know, he's a hard ass, but this is why he's our leader, right? You know, he really pushes us beyond our limits in ways that it may scare us, but we always succeed. And if they die, they're just going to be like, well, I'm sure Master really thought they could. It's unfortunate that they didn't live up to potential. No matter what, he does no wrong here. But the fact of him scrambling, realizing like, oh shit, we're actually screwed. And the fact that he brings out this giant bag. I imagine it's literally every trinket they've ever collected over the 6 years. He not only forgets said bag on the ground, he Iron Mans. Apparently, you can't steer it. The last person who used it had exploded upon impact, and he's now I am begging. I'm hoping that the next episode, they're fighting for their life. They're putting up a good fight. It looks like they're about to die, and he just splatters into this fool. Could you imagine them being like, damn, master, you're the first person to master that trinket? The more I think of this show, the funnier it gets. Because the brilliant thing about something like Eminence in Shadow is that the main character, Sid, believes the bullshit. He's like, yeah, everyone's just playing along with my chuny nonsense. And they're like, damn, this is real life and he's super serious. Where with a show like this, everyone's not playing along. They truly believe he's talented. But in this case, our MC knows that he ain't talented and this ain't playtime. This is real life or death. I love how much of a dick our MC is. Like, he's not to the point of being insufferable. He will put his work on who should be his best friend, as we saw in episode 1. He'll give his punishments to loyal minions without but the fact that he doesn't read the full thing and accidentally almost like the impression I'm getting is that he sent her on like an S rank mission. And the fact that he was even warned, are you sure you want to pick this? This is a pretty deadly one. Yeah, it's a level 3, it's fine. The laziest motherfucker. This very well could become one of the best shows of the season. It's very early, a lot of stuff is starting. But if they can keep this momentum going and just keep it, you know, the steady incline, I could see this being a top 5 of the season. I gotta be honest, this show is a pleasant surprise. You think nothing based on the poster. The synopsis ain't half bad, but even then I'm not thinking it's gonna be the craziest thing. We got something special on our hands. Let me know what you're thinking of Reverse Eminence in Shadow, aka Let This Grieving Soul Retire. What are you thinking of episode 2? What do you think he's gonna do in episode 3? You think he's gonna crash into this beast, or do you think he's just gonna crash and see them victory? Let me know down below. Leave a like if you enjoyed, subscribe if you're new around here, of course, ring that bell, and like I mentioned, full live reactions over on Patreon, and hey, while you're over there, I'll just give you a video shout out. Alright, so today we got Kagenou, Mark, Christian Navidad, Ricardo, Stinamore, Calcoon, FF Fan 2003, and we also have Rene Villarreal. So I appreciate the support, everyone. Please take care and just let this show be a lesson. Make sure your boss is actually worthy of respect. Don't just kiss the boots. Because there's probably a lot of people like this. Have a good one.